Well, a heck of a storm came through last night. I can't tell you how much snow we got because it's up to my knees over here, but over there in front of the camp it's only up to my ankles. When we took the dogs out before bed, I'm telling you, the snow was going by sideways, and the wind woke me up twice in the night. It was crazy. So I've been cleaning up this morning here. But now it's kind of like a little bit of freezing rain, kind of icy mist, and I'd like it to stop because I want to get the solar panels cleaned off, get some solar power. But man, it's crazy. Look at this path. A lot of snow out here. Now look at the icicles on the greenhouse. All that snow melts from the heat inside, but then it gets down to the eave and it freezes. It's about 65 in here right now. Always such a game changer and a mood lifter when I walk in here. I love it. Mama's making bird treats.
So I just broke up a chunk of the white fat that you can get at the grocery store. You know, those big hard chunks. I just broke it up, put it on the wood stove, let it simmer away. So I'm going to drain the solids out of the liquid now.
You got an audience.
We put out some of the raw suet, big chunks in an old onion bag, and the birds like that just as well. But this is just a little extra source of fat and protein for them. I'll whisk a little peanut butter into it. I get the chunky, and there's no recipe, there's no ratio you have to use. They like peanut butter too.
You do?
I like the spoon, Mom.
For the last month or so, Lori's been putting some peanut butter out on that little peanut butter paddle out there, and the birds really flock to it. I was really surprised. There are two different kinds of woodpeckers, the chickadees and the nuthatches. So this stuff here is just a little extra treat for them. You know, like she said, they go to that pure white suet all the time, but they do like the peanut butter, so it's just playing. She's just playing.
I also have this chunk of chicken fat. I baked some chicken last night, plain, and so this is the grease that ran off it, and we've discovered they really like this too, so I'm just going to let this melt right into that.
Whenever we have a whole chicken, you find those big globs of fat in the cavity, we put that out there too, just as is. Birds love that too. Good nourishment for them in the wintertime.
If you're going to feed them the chicken fat, especially the stuff that's baked off your chicken, make sure it's from unseasoned chicken. You don't want to have all the spices in it. It's probably not so good for them. So a lot of times I just bake the chicken plain.
That smells good.
That peanut butter is very aromatic.
Yeah, it is, and I'm a peanut butter hound.
Let me get this melted in.
Oh, there's a peanut butter hound right there too.
Now we just pour it over in this tray.
That's it. Put my kibble in there, Mom.
So then I'm just going to pour it into this little plastic tray, which is left over from a Stouffer's mac and cheese. Makes a good mold for this.
Yep.
Set it outside and let it freeze, chill up, and it'll pop right out of there. So this is the finished product. It pops right out of whatever we use for our mold. We only do this in the winter because in the summer this would get too soft and sticky. Now you can put cracked corn in it or some birdseed. We just use the chunky peanut butter and the birds really love it that way.
It's a beautiful day on the mountain today, so I'm heading into the back 40 to see if I have any action on the fisher cam. He's a transient little fellow who's often here one day and gone the next. They may have short little legs, but they can cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time. It takes me a bit longer, but I'll get there eventually. Fresh fisher tracks right there. Not far from where the cameras are, but they might be buried in the snow because I had set them down low. We'll find out. There's tracks over there, and the cameras are over there. Oh, I think we're going to have some fisher action. I see he's been over here. The fisher went under that log right there. Hey. The camera is right there. Came under it. That one's probably got some action. This one, probably not, because there's snow in it. I had set the cameras down low for better footage, but a foot of snow and 30-inch drifts put some of my cameras out of commission. Did I get what I was hoping for? We'll just have to wait and see. Put my hood up in case all that snow falls on. Things we do to get the Kodak moment. I gotta dry off my car. It got really wet. You see my little snowshoe trail. A lot easier once the trail has been packed a little bit. Yeah. It is pretty though, huh? This is my world, folks. This is my world. I like my world. Huh. Whenever I show my trail cam footage, I get bombarded with questions. I guess what I should say is people ask me the same question over and over and over, and that is, what trail cams do I use? So I'll tell you. Except for one Bushnell camera that was given to me as a gift a while back, which I really like. It's a nice camera, and it even has sound to it, which is a really cool feature for a trail cam. What I don't like about it is it has so many features that it's complicated to set up. Aside from that, it's a wonderful camera. These Wild Game Innovations cameras that I use, they're super simple to set up. And I use all the inexpensive ones, so they all set up the same. I could do it blindfolded. So these here, I bought 4 more of these recently. As you can see, I haven't even taken them out of the package yet. These are the Wild Game Innovations. These are cheap cameras. Terra Extreme 14 megapixel. I got these at Dick's Sporting Goods. They were on sale for around 35 bucks. So I grabbed 4 more of them. I use a bunch of the other ones. I got Terra 10s, Terra 12s, some of the blackouts. I can't even remember all of the names, and I don't have them in front of me. So what I will do, because some I like better than the others, I'll put the info of the cameras that I have. Now these here, this brings my collection up to 22 of these Wild Game cameras. I should say I have 23 Wild Game cameras and 1 Bushnell. I'll go through my inventory and I will write down in the description, I'll put links to some of them, and I will tell you which ones I like and which ones I don't. Because I think they were called blackouts. Those, I don't care for those too much. They are finicky. I don't get real good success with those. So I'll put that information down below. I don't want to steer you wrong because, like I said, I don't have them in front of me. But all in all, I have been very, very happy with these cameras. I did research some of the more expensive ones. I wanted to up my game a little bit, But when I was reading the reviews, I found really good reviews and I found really bad reviews. Really, for a $200 camera, I was finding reviews that ran in line with the same as the $30 to $50 wild game one. So I decided I'm just going to stick with these. And I got to tell you, when somebody comes along and steals my camera, or I have it strapped to a tree and the beaver chews the tree down and the camera ends up in the pond, it hurts a lot less when you lose a $50 camera as opposed to a couple $100. And the cheap cameras allow me to run more cameras, so it works for me. Now I know there's a lot of people that don't like the Wild Game Innovations cameras. Personally, I bought a pair. I bought the Terra 10s at a Tractor Supply like 4 years ago. I really liked them. I bought another pair, the same ones. One of those cameras failed me. I brought it back. They refunded my money. I gave the Wild Game another try. I bought, there were different models. I don't remember which ones. And then I bought more and I bought more. And like I told you, I have a bunch of them. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you see the footage that I get with them. I don't have any complaints. But I will tell you, if you're setting up your camera, try to face it north. Because sometimes with the cameras, especially in the evening sun, if the sun is hitting the lens, the exposure is going to be kind of funky. So I have had some that the exposure comes out lousy, but on the flip side of that coin, I have gotten some trail cam footage that is just magnificent. You would never know that this was taken with a cheap camera. You know what I'm saying? So, you asked, I told you. What I do is I'm running the cheap cameras, and so far, so good.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go, there's a pokey way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end, Frankie and the boss, Frankie and the boss, Frankie and the boss.